Let's talk some high school football. I'm Fox 23 Sports Director Nathan Thompson, along with the Tulsa World's Barry Lewis. It is week one of the high school football season after we had week 0 last week. So a full schedule this week and lots of great games to talk about. We're going to go over your top 5 games that are in the Tuesday edition of the Tulsa World. You can also get them on okprepsextra.com. And number one, nice little 6A1 showdown, Broken Arrow hosting Union in the game of the week for both Fox 23 and for the Tulsa World.
Well, it's a rematch of last year's semifinals, which was a thriller where Union won 17-14. Broken Arrow had a late touchdown called back. You know, Broken Arrow wants to avenge that loss. It's been a very exciting rivalry in recent years, some really closely contested games. Most of them have been low scoring, but this year points to a high scoring game as Union put up 57 points on the board last week in its opener, while Broken Arrow lost a wild one at Bentonville, 56-46.
Game number 2, staying in Class 6A1, Owasso versus Jinx. This one maybe looked a little better last week, but Owasso lost big to Bixby and lost Cole Adams and had some injuries. And Jinx, defending state champ, 2-time defending state champ, but they did barely squeak out a victory at Edmond Santa Fe last week.
And a win is a win, as Jinx says, even though it wasn't pretty. Both offenses struggled putting up points last week, so everything points to this being a low-scoring game like their 2019 state championship game that Owasso won 14-6. It's great to see them meeting the regular season again for the first time after a 4-year hiatus on that. They haven't met since the 2020 semifinals when Jinx ended Owasso's 24-game winning streak, 39-15. So I think everything points to Jinx this week. It's really tough for Owasso to come back from losing Cole Adams to injury. So that was he was so good in the opener last week. So it's really sad to see that it's looking like he's out for the season.
A little Wagner County rivalry here for your game number 3 as we have Coweta taking on Wagner, the Bulldogs. This is their season opener, but Coweta coming off a huge, very impressive victory over Carl Albert.
You can't have a much better season opener than Coweta had, routing Carl Albert, the perennial powerhouse, by 30 points. Last year, Coweta routed Wagner after Wagner had won 8 in a row in the rivalry. Coweta again has that game they've already played. Well, Wagner hasn't played a game so far in the regular season. I think that really gives Coweta an edge this week.
Game number 4, Rejoice Christian versus Cash Hall. A couple of teams coming off nice victories in week 0.
Yes, the last time these teams met, it was a thriller as Cassia held on 28-26, denying a late 2-point conversion by Rejoice. That was back in 2020. That year was a COVID makeup game. So thank goodness we don't have any of those to talk about this year. But anyway, a lot of the key players in that game are back for this game. So that's what makes it even extra interesting. Chance Wilson had a huge game that night for Rejoice. And Cassia Hall's Baxter Robertson scored the winning TD, so they'll both be back. Jay Miller, a receiver for Rejoice, caught 12 passes in that game. So they're all going to be back for the rematch Friday, and it looks like it has the potential to be another game that goes down to the wire.
And rounding out your top 5, we have Del City at Booker T. Nice history between these two teams. And the Hornets really looking to bounce back after week 0.
Yes, last week was a disappointing loss for Booker T, going over to Arkansas and losing 28-7 to Bentonville West, while Del City had an exhilarating 38-34 win over one of the 6A2 favorites, Choctaw. Everything points to Del City that, you know, they're going to be hungry to try to avenge the losses to Booker T in the last couple of years.
All right, that's our top 5 games. Barry Lewis's top 5 games. You get in the Tuesday edition of the Tulsa World right there. Also get on okprepsextra.com. Don't forget that you need to pick up a paper for sure on Friday for a preview of all the action. Saturday, all the recaps and scores. Great pictures from the Tulsa World photography team. Fox 23, we have the same game of the week, of course, as we have Broken Arrow hosting Union. We'll be live at 6:20 with a preview of that game from Memorial Stadium. Extended highlights at 10:15. And then 11 o'clock, it's the season premiere of high school football tonight. Our 30-minute show airs at 11 o'clock. Barry will be there as our analyst, so make sure you watch that. Nice to have that back. Nice to have high school football back. We're glad you're watching and talking high school football with you. Have a great week.